Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 34 of my God King Boudicca series. Last episode, I made a ton of mistakes. So many that I was really tempted to re record. We did seize a lot of profits, and we stopped the great musician from coming out before Eiffel Tower, so it wasn't at all a wash, but for starters, this guy here forgot to tell him to pre-build farm, and that's okay because guess what? I think it's better that he comes over here and chops these down. Gets more freshwater plains options for Limerick and casts light over here. Win-win. Wasting time over here when we're just going to plant that makes no sense. All right. Next, when we picked up the cattle tile, I was so distracted about who got credit that I forgot to actually make use of the tile. So let's go into Swansea and we'll say 4 and 2, 4 and 3. So that actually looks worse, but the 3 food, and of course we're going to get a hammer here, better in the long run. Also, we cannot heal by being embarked, so I'm going to land him and bring him over to the more important tile. What we can do with this guy is actually have him come into the city tile, upgrade, and then heal up there because he's at 48, so 2 turns there. Plus, this gives him the chance to become a rifleman. I don't think that's going to help him when he's submerged, but there you go. So there's that. What else? Oh yeah, the other thing is something we can't actually do anything about. Not only was I late to buying the mosque, but I bought it in the wrong city. I bought it in St. Ives. Wanted to do it in Peel. Peel's a border city. In the end, it's probably not going to matter because the 2 tiles we really want to grow into, we're probably going to end up having to buy. In fact, I was mentioning last episode that we wanted to buy this tile, but we're going to wait until we expand, and here's why. See 180 there? We'll check it again after the turn passes and see what it looks like then. So here we go. Okie dokie. Yep. Ugh, everybody's telling us off. That one was a set of lands. I'm not even sure what she's talking about. We haven't settled any cities. Maybe it was something to do with before the war, or I have no idea. No idea. Oh, Peel. It was probably Peel, right? Yeah. Alright. So again, we're at that 500 mark. So this time, again, we're going to leave this prompt up. Hopefully this time I remember. And if we're lucky, the fact that it was forgotten once before, we'll change that. So see, it's 65 gold, cheaper now. You know, it's like 33% more than 33%, 34, 35%. Now we can buy it and work that. Everybody's demanding sugar and ivory, so we either have it or we don't. He had some, but I don't know where. His ivory is in the capital, but I haven't been able to find his sugar, so I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe city-states, but then he wouldn't be able to trade away. So we've grown in Berlin. We can check Cork. There's not really a way to relinquish any tiles here unless Aberystwyth can. And no, there's not. We don't want to do this, so I'm not even going to bother looking in. So in Berlin, we'll just go ahead and work this really sweet production tile, and then in a couple turns, well, in a couple turns, Eiffel Tower will be done, factory will be done, we'll be shifting everything in here. So I'm not going to sweat the little stuff just this second. Iffy election rigged. Alright, free faith. We'll lose it in 9 turns, get it back in, what, like 6 turns after that? How does that work? 14? Yeah, and then after the election's rigged, it's the next turn. Assuming there's not other operatives there. And then, of course, Geneva as well, which we really want to keep, not just to help transition in the Silver City, which is planted, and we're almost fully mobilized through, but also because it's one of only 2 copies of Wales. The other one belonged to the Shoshone on a coast city that is absolute garbage. We're not going to keep it just for that. So Geneva is where we get our whales, is what it comes down to. So just that. Now, friends with Iffy, Antananarivo is in awe. Bratislava desires porcelain tower. Let's see, 5, and we have 75. So any gift will do it. We don't care about efficiency because we already got 75. We do the little one. They're our ally for 30 turns, at least. Yeah. And look at that. They're right on top of where we're warring anyways. And they're a canal city, so if we ever had boats... You know, one of the things I'm learning from this series as far as Liberty games, even if it's on Pangea, make sure one of your early cities is coastal, you know. Because like now we can get into ocean, the whole world is open up. Unless you have ice at both caps in such a way that literally the world's segmented off, which, we're still planting cities, kind of. So yeah, I've learned my lesson. So anyways, we will check in with our workers. We got one farm, one mine. The mine's probably less important, and the farm is in Glasgow. It is Freshwater Hill. So 9 and 4 there, 7 and 4, that's better. Alright, so like I said before, I'm starting to use this prompt as a reminder to go to any cities that are burning down and maintain them. One thing I touched on, I believe, in the last episode that I've made a decision on is we have 1, 2, 3, technically 4 tiles with gold coming out of them, and we're now at 4 pops. So we're going to stop city raising, and we're only dealing with buildings that are 2 maintenance right now, and the university has the highest lump sum. So let's just get rid of that, and there we go. Okay. Oh yeah, and now that we've done that, we can actually get onto the proper build command. Alright, so usually once the shrine's done, we're asking questions like, do we go straight into a library? Do we need a granary here? And we most certainly don't. In fact, this city has so much grassland and swamp that I think a watermill makes sense for the hammer, not so much the food. Now granted, we are kind of rectifying the lack of production here. We're going to work the cocoa tiles because they've got gold, and then we're going to be getting into this hill, this coal, but then the food from the watermill will help us accomplish all of that as well. So I want to build a watermill there. Let's see, he says 1, 2, 3, get back into the ocean. Very good. He's waiting. He's upgrading, and we might as well go ahead and occupy this other tile. We are still at war. We'll radar there just to make sure. All good. Very good. Alright. He is doing road finishes. He is going to Swansea. He's going to heal up in the city tile. These two will head over to the Shoshone, I imagine. Obviously they got plenty of time. We've got a bit of a choke going on here. We're keeping eyes on that, so before we issue him a command, let's keep an eyes on this. Is it time to get froggy? No, but it looks like if we move here, we can land everything right now. And I'm seeing a merchant here, and I'm seeing an inquisitor here. So let's go ahead while I'm thinking about it and denounce this guy. And that way, I realize the world hates us. It's not that important. I also see he's enjoying some of our cocoa. What? Oh, because we denounced him, we don't have embassies. See, this is why I try to get embassies even at this point in the game. Okay, moving along. Musicians are holding. Over here, let's get rid of these incomplete profits. That way we don't have to pay the maintenance on them. We get them off of our screen. Simplifies things. Alright. So he got shot. We were expecting that. Pillage. Push through. Alright. Visibility allowed for it. And there's nothing going on here. No punish. I like that. That's what these guys are kind of going to be good for in situations like this. We do see a boat. So I'll have this guy stick to the inner rim as far as like between these two tiles. He comes here and here. These guys are jumping in the water so that they can both land here. And then we want this guy to land here. So we'll come up 1, 2, 3 for visibility, and then we'll be able to land there. One of these guys will get shot, and then that should make it to where neither of these will. So we're good as far as all that goes. He's pre-building a road, and he's healing. We could leave him for eyes visibility here, but he's the one that would need to know what the visibility means, and he can already see everything he can except for here, which he can't act upon. So I say let's go ahead and withdraw this guy. We have some darkness up here. We've got a lot of darkness that we've left behind up here. There's places where visibility would be useful. We are going to have a gap in time. If you look at the Great Scientist, 2 turns. 13 turns before Statue of Liberty becomes online. In 2 turns we'll have a scientist, which will knock off 8, so that's 10 out of 13. Well, I'm going to have like some turns in between, so we could build some more settlers. There's a potential settle here that once flipped would influence Zanzibar and Iffy, which if this guy stays away, maybe that's not necessary for Zanzibar, but there's an option. Once Goa is burned down, planting a city here, it would flip relatively quickly. We could throttle the growth to make sure that happened, and then we could settle another city in here to help get things, rolling in this direction or whatever. Not that we actively want to, but, we still have happiness. We can slot all that stuff in. Over here, speaking of buying hills, one of the things I wanted to do, can't remember if I meant to do this at the top of the episode or not, but let's buy this hill. And that way, after this city is done working the 3 wheat and the horse, we can grow into a good production tile every time. It also means he can stop and upgrade, and now we can just defend, or I should say fortify on a hill, which is even better thanks to our altitude training. This guy was going to come over here. What's the fastest way to do that? Getting on the road? Is that what I'm seeing? No. Gets there in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 2, 3, 4. Yeah, same way. I prefer the road. That way if we change our mind, we're more flexible. Right? Alright, so I think we determined that we're not jumping off this turn. So we'll leave him just sit here. He can still reach this, if it lands. And then also he's occupying this tile for when it comes time for the worker to rip these tiles back up, because this Zanzibar road is finally going to get finished. Alright, so bringing attention to myself that there's a faith prompt here. As we pass the turn, we can finally get finally get a mosque in Peel like we were supposed. Hey, Pakal's building more stuff for us, isn't that? What a sweetheart. He takes really good care of us sometimes. Alright, before we do anything else, let's get into Peel. Bam! I'm not going to make that mistake again. And it's nice because now we're almost up to 200, and that'll become 3 turns instead of 4. Oh, another reason to plant more cities, right? Speaking of which, this is about to become a holy site, so here we go. Bam! Right? Now we are pretty much at 200. Where's the other one? He's coming soon. Coming soon. Yep. Alright, so we address that. Douglas has grown. We'll slot that in. There we go. 9 and 7. What was it before? I didn't even see. 10 and 6. 9 and 7. We'll grab the food that we can while we can, because the growth will slow down once we have to populate the factory. Citrus is back, and let's trade it with not the Mayans, because for all we know, we're declaring war against them this turn. And also iron, but nobody wants that. He's building stuff for us. Very nice of him. We'll clear things with the workers. Okay, so that tile's done. Right. Build prompt means we come into our burning city and we say 2. We got 30 here, 30 there. So yeah, let's do the harbor. I love this new feature of enhanced user interface. It's not new as in like developed recently, but the latest version had this when the mod didn't have it for the longest time. It makes these decisions so much more efficient. I like it a lot. Right, okay, so let's actually get to the actual prompt. Amphitheater is done in Cork. We'll get on Cayley Hall. Who knows when it's going to get finished. That poor city's all science and gold and growth. Alright, some non-coastal there. Okay, we'll just have this guy slip over to Truro since there's some stuff to do there. Caravans, alright. Let's see here. So we're going to deal with the Mayan situation. We're going to take Palanque, and after that we'll have a caravan going to their other city for the multiplier. So we're doing that as much as we can. Why do we have this? Trade routes between civs. No kidding. Oh, because he's sending us one. Okay. I hadn't considered that when I saw the caravan. Alright. Well, that'll be a shame to lose. But anyways, the Shoshone we're dealing with in our own way. And if we do settle the cities up north, like I said, maybe we can call the war off earlier. I don't know. I don't see that happening, but I'm just spitballing here. The Inca, we do have a trade route, and we have open borders, which will be expiring soon. We're not going to re-up that. And that leaves Maria. So, ideally, that's what we're looking for. What we got here? Oh, look at that. Edinburgh to Funchal. It just happens to be the next best one, and we're already parked in Edinburgh, so there we go. And since the city's not in range of Funchal and already passively influencing it, they will both now be actively influencing one another for a bit of redundancy, as the Mayans are being obnoxious. So, all good there. We'll do that, and we'll fortify him. Chop, chop. Let's see here. We'll just go ahead and clean up around here. I know there's another hill we could get to, but, you know, whatever. Not in a big rush. He's going to heal up a couple turns. These guys are just chilling. Worker. He's the finished road worker. He's the pre-build worker. So we'll get him to advance like so. He might as well come over here for visibility purposes. Whoops, I thought I was clicking one at a time. But this works too. That works too. Heal, I already did go, yep. So there's that. We have boats. Alright, so first things first. 1, 2, 3, eek. Yeah, we don't want to be around that, so we'll get over here. He passes through while damaged, which is important. Okay, these guys land. Because we have altitude training, everybody can hinge through this. So the fact that these guys are parked here works out just fine. And then once this forest is gone, and as long as we're not zone of control, this guy can actually step and shoot, and he can hinge through after the melee. So we're just squeaking everybody through as they'll fit. In fact, now it occurs to me that once he gets through, maybe we would have had room for the other Lancer. But things are going to be so cramped over here. I'm not sure if that's even going to be a thing. We might as well focus on the one that's potentially zone of control. Obviously that's not the case here, but go ahead and do that. He heals. He zips along. Mayans, is it time to go to war? Do we still have open borders with this guy? We do! Alrighty, where did that Inquisitor go? I don't know. It's just as well, though, now that I think about it, because this guy's in range of like a triple tap, and we really don't want to advance these guys yet, you know, because we're coming up on replaceable parts. Great War Infantry, I think that's a good time to push, but if now's the time to actually do the attack, so be it. Right? So let's step here, bring him over. Neither of these are double tapples, so we'll go step and step. So we are ready to rock. Where did that swordsman go? He must have disappeared a turn ago. Okay, well then, these guys will tag team that guy. We'll both get experience, assuming I can't one-shot. Can't imagine I would. And he can pick this up. So we got a lot going on. Let's get into shopping around. I think it's pretty clear based on recent performances that nobody's going to go for this, but we still have to try. And I should shut up when I'm doing this because it's funny listening to these people get all upset that I'd even dare to talk to them. Let alone suggest that they pay me to be a bigger monster than I already am. Fun times. Alright. That's everybody. So next thing is we come here, we say declare war, and we just double check. Byblos, that's on the other side of, we only just sold this console, or Kokos, or whatever. Caravan, we're going to lose that multiplier, and there's no way to pillage it because of the way the tiles are all arranged over there. So let's just go look in on Byblos, which is right about here. Yeah, we already knew we couldn't like jump in the water and land, so that's just as well. Nothing doing there, so here we go. Yes. Alright, so lots going on here. Alright. First things first, we're going to claim this, and we have more mobility, so let's back it up. Next, we're going to say shoot, shoot, attack. And we seized it. Very nice. And over here we get 3 shots on that. He's in the rough. Oh, that's unfortunate. You hate to see that. We could cross the river just to get the music going, but we don't know what's back here, and our range is in a good position, so I'm willing to be patient. We can see here there's nothing to gain from rushing. In fact, next turn Eiffel Tower comes out, we'll get a great musician like the turn after that or something, and we can have all three side by side and say, hey, look what we can do. Alright, and that just leaves this little island here. Smack, smack. And then they can both jump in the water. Open borders will be over, but they deep water it. Very nice how everything kind of works together there. Alright, oh, what's this guy? He might not reach there in time. We can have him come like that. And he can come over here to supplement the loss of visibility from that guy. So, lots to keep eyes on. But this is the one that would be the easiest to lose track of. It's also the most insignificant one, so, you know, whatever. Oh, I forgot to deal with this. Crap. Yes, okay. Well, yeah, hopefully they will ask for it. He doesn't. Well, unfortunately, we can't click to the others from here because it's not our turn. Hopefully people approach us. We will not do spices, but we will do cotton. Thank you for asking. It actually says 2 spices. Was spices one of the ones we were trading with him? This is not the screen for that. Let me see here. Spices. Why would we have 2 spices? We've got our spices, and then we got the extra from Goa. Okay, never mind. I'm good. Alright, so we found where the scout went. Right. Eiffel Tower is here. That's +5 happiness, +12 tourism. Yes, I think so. Thank you very much. Nice. Okay, and scientist is born. Lots of stuff going on. First things first. Oh, and the factory is finished here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And anytime you're doing a grand gesture like this, just double check you don't have any unemployed citizens. We've just freed up 3 jungle tiles. We come over here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, no unemployed. And this is freed up now, so 5 and 1. Doesn't actually make a difference, but it does in the long run, so there we go. I wanted to make sure we didn't lose track of this guy, so let's bombard. Oh! 1 shot. Far out. Well, that means these guys are no longer needed. Okay, so what's going on here? Alright. So we'll take cover, we'll hop in the water, and we'll give this guy another shot. And this is fine, because now he clears out that tile. He's right behind him. The melee leads the ranged. That's what we want, right? Okay, we pick up a jungle tile. That's the last thing Cork wanted to see right now. It is undeveloped, though. But we do have this worker here that can hop on it next turn. So we will do that. It doesn't have gold right now, so we can forego it for the time being, because we're looking at 8 and 17 there, 11 and 19. Yeah, let's do this for the time being. The gold's the more important thing. Our science is like out of control in a good way, so I'm not going to miss that. Replaceable parts is what we want. Bam! Now everybody flies even faster on the water, but that's going to be next turn because of the way the points are allotted. Incense. I'll leave that prompt up because I'm really good at forgetting. Let's see. Monaco calls for faith. We totally have that in the bag. Losing grasp on Monaco. Kabul desires ivory. And road to Zanzibar. And look at this. Hey, before we break it down, let's get this guy on the road. He makes use of that. So now we can rip it up. And you... get the funk out of here. Alright, so all that, we dealt with all that. Incense. We'll go to the guy who is least threatening to us. Which, now that I think about it, that might not be accurate. I'm going mostly by one city. Like she still had, we saw her settler down here. She still has aspirations for expansion, but he's just kind of like accepted his relegation to mediocrity. More coal, which we might need next turn. So we should probably hold on to one. Chop chop. 10 turns on the market in Limerick down to 8. Farm here. Doesn't much matter. It was mostly, we're just killing time for that. Another chop going on. Library from 7 down to 4. Cool. Alright, there's the hammer in Swansea. Another chop, another farm. So, yay, look at that. Chop, chop. Good. So now he can actually stop and shoot. And we cannot zone here. So we're just going to have to forget to pre-build. Right. And that's all the workers? No, we have one farmer. Hey, it's a good one too. Nice. Breast is growing. Okay. Well, we cannot move this guy, so he's just going to have to get shot. But in a few turns, he'll become Great War Infantry, so let them come. To that end, we will go ahead and go like this. Great General is near, thankfully, finally. That will help. Okay, we have this prompt here, so let's get into Goa. And we will, 30 and 2 is where we're at right now. That's the threshold. So bye-bye workshop. Growth in 6, and I believe we had 6 more buildings left, so we should revisit that at some point. He's pretty much healed up, so let's move as far as we can, and then upgrade. He's going to come here and finish the road. We'll finish the road here next turn, and now this guy will be able to zoom in, so I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay, let's see here. Oh, wait. I want to finish. I established this beginning of turn rhythm to help diminish the chance that I will overlook something. So, pardon me if this seems like a bit, I guess, anal for lack of a better word. Alright, we're growing 3, which is unfortunate. Settler, come back. I wanna take a look at this real quick. 88 hammers per turn for the settler, thanks to the Liberty policy, and the settlers themselves cost 106. All right, so assuming 4 turns by 88, that's 352, some change, right? Am I doing that right? 4, yeah, 352. So that's 3 settlers in that time, which is great because I was thinking a city here. City here, city there. It's all about the availability of buying faith-bought buildings. We've jumped from every 4 turns to every 3. And, you know, religious pressure. We managed to kill all those prophets and whatnot. So we're doing pretty good, but things start tapering off in this area because Buddhism was in effect. So, yeah, we have things to do with those settlers. Doesn't necessarily mean we'll plant them. But what else is the capital going to do right now? I mean, we could put up a stock exchange. It would, you know, skip a turn. And it's not a bad idea. Gold's actually doing quite well right now, so I think we can manage without that. All right. So we do have coal to sell. It says 7. We want to save 1 for Avarice with next turn. We do have more coal on the horizon, so it's not that big of a deal. We'll sell it to the guy who's least likely to use it against us. Oops, wrong button there. 1 pack of 3, he'll take another pack of 3. There we go. Alright. So that's just about everything addressed. Swansea finishes its library. We'll get on to the market next. Factory is done in Berlin. We have populated it, but we did not choose our next construction project. And look at that. Growth in 7, public school in 7. So we'll have another slot to work there. And he's just going to come over here and get that cleaned up. Let's see here. 1. Might as well come along the hill. 3, 4. We'll just do a little dance around here, see what's happened in our absence. 1, 2, 3 out of 4. We'll have 4 next turn because we just got it this turn. Alright, so kind of onto the main event-ish, I guess. We'll do a little dance here. Ooh, Galeas. 2. Alright, so he wants to end up here, which is unfortunate because he kind of wants to get out of the way. We'll end up in rough, but we don't pillage. It'll bring him up to 87. Let's see how much damage we do with these guys first. 1, 2, oh wow, okay, so doing this much damage, even though we're only going to be at 87, he has to go for this. We could move, yeah, we'll stick to flatland as well, and this gets us eyes over here, which is also helpful. He hinges through. Great General gets out of the way so that the worker, now that he's chopped the forest down, can get up here and maybe do a quick help, maybe come over here, get started on the swamp, because that's going to be annoying. Alright, we'll just come back here and get our shot, because he still needs XP. He's waiting. He's going to zoom as far as he can, -1, and then become a rifleman, and he's going to zoom along as well. Alright, he's coming up here to plant that. Swansea grows in 1, just in time to pick this up, so that's good. We didn't totally lose out on that. He's coming over to this coal. Okay, nothing we can do here, unfortunately. They're out of range. Alright, and there's that. So we will say 1 more turn. Let me just double check and go. Yep, we're on top of things. That's part of the reason why I have my rhythm as far as how I like to manage all the prompts and whatnot, because that way it helps. Okay, so now the boats are coming. Luckily, I don't think that one Galeas can reach our Lancer. Hey, hey! He's making the mistake of descending upon us. That's tricky. It's tricky to rock around. Okay, okay, we'll come up here, get him a promotion. May purchase with faith, it's 500. So, unfortunately, that's not going to translate from 1 turn of an episode to the next episode, but, bombard. Alright. We're not going to bombard that. And the reason why is because he can say, shoot, shoot. He's already fortified, so I think it's okay if we take the turn to move him into here. Because I don't want to push into this, right? But if I come here, he steps. We'll get the Great General forward. He can shoot here, and he can shoot there. Alright, now we'll use the bombard, because we need it to... Alright, so there we go. That's a crossbow down. Very nice. And breast grows in a turn, but we don't pick that up for 5 turns. So this is a sticky situation, because we come over here. It takes, what, 4 turns to build a mine, so... yeah, we got time for that. And who knows, by the time we're done with the aluminum, maybe that's time for the worker to actually cross the river for repair purposes. So yeah, we'll get on that for a minute. Okay, that's not important to us. That's not important to us. That's pretty nifty, though, so let's get on that. Let's see. Ren has grown. And in the tradition of everything we're doing everywhere else, let's pick up the faith, because Lisbon's not working it. So we did that. Swansea has grown. It, too, will pick up some faith. So look at this. Hopefully this will diminish the amount of times we have to deal with this, you know, lying faith purchasing. So now look at this. 840 this guy does. And let's just go over real quick and look at the progression, right? Because this is the first one over here, I think. 460. Whoops, not that guy. 600, and now up to 840. That's a very nice, steady progression. We should be proud of ourselves. Alright, so he's going to get on this coal. Just 3 there, unfortunately, but we have plenty. That tile's not particularly useful. Open borders is finally expired. Horses and iron come back. Losing grasp on Kiev. Kabul cancels quest. Alright, now we come to the worker ribbon. And we finish up this hill there. We'll get on the jungle tile next, I suppose. Yeah, we'll come back to that. I don't like to... Alright, so there's all of that. Okay, on to the production prompt, which means we go into our city that's burning down. And we need to double check how soon we think we're going to have Yamba. Do we have the happiness? We're going to want to settle cities. And I think we're fine for the time being. What we also need to look at is growth in 5, and look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to need to raise 1 citizen down before we grow. Let's see here. 18 out of 44. And this tile is producing 5 food out of the 6 that we've got. Okay. So basically, when this says 2 turns until a new citizen is born, or maybe even 1, then we drop the population down. Yeah. And we can lock these in, like so. There we go. So now when it raises, it'll raise that guy there. Alright, preparative measures. Alright, 2. We're out of resistance, so we could use the faith, but we just picked up a whole lot of faith. So let's just get rid of the gold drain. There. And then we deal with the actual prompts. Amphitheater is done here in Penzance, so we're on to Cayley Hall. Aberist with is ready for a new construction project. We'd really like to get on factory. We'd really like to get on hydro plant. So let's take a look at our rifleman situation everywhere around the world. He'll be rifleman. And then in 3 turns we're going to be able to do... let's check this out real quick. Rifleman costs 200 to become Great War Infantry. We're making 327 per turn. We need these 3 right away. And... well, basically these guys. So that's 6 we would want to do pretty much right away. Now, the good news is over here, we're going to have 1 parked in the city tile, and maybe another one healing. It's probably going to be the same one, so I'm not trying to double dip there. So we'll only need like 5 right away. 3 turns of growth. That's about 5 worth, and we'd have a little left over. So I think we're good as far as buying a hydro plant here. Bam. Okay, so we're growth in 4. We'll build a factory, and look at that. The factory's down to 14. It was up to 18, but we're not done yet. We're going to go 4 and 14, 3 and 14, 4 and 12. Let's do this. That way we get the 1 turn faster growth. We'll grow into that tile, and we will be full-on hydro plant in this city. We could come down from here right now, I suppose, right? 3 and 14. 3 and 12, and then we can grow into this tile and go from there. And the factory comes out, we'll populate the slots. We don't even have a university in this city yet. Okay, so scratch that, scratch that. University's got to come next. It's available much quicker, and it's only 1 citizen that it takes away, and we'll go from there. Alright. I was only doing that because of the coal, right? That was what tricked me into doing that. Okay, nobody wants the iron. We did have horses come back, so let's just take a look at what we have. Just the 1 horse, and not enough aluminum since we just bought the hydro plant to combine with it. So no trades there. Alrighty. So let's see here. He can hinge through. Nothing to shoot at down here. We did not pre-build a tile here, so we're going to pre-build there. He zooms ahead. Alright, so ideally we want to get off this tile. We're not going to siege this turn, right? Because we can kill this in 2 shots, it looks like. Oh no, we low rolled. That sucks. Alright, well at least that means if he does shoot us, it's going to be, you know, 'tis but a scratch. Let's see, does he pillage? Doesn't need to. Let's bring the strong guy down here. We hinge this guy through. He comes up. And until we own this city, he might as well help pre-build the road. Right, okay. I just want to see something real quick. He's not willing to give us a city. Alright. Okay, so we will pillage, and we'll end up on a hill. I don't think this can shoot here because this hill here. But in the event that I'm wrong, this guy is better prepared for it. He's got 3. Okay, so if we come through here, we would lose all of our movement points, which is what we would expect. So we'll just sit there. The one thing I wanted to check, Great General is fine right there. Okay. So we'll say boom, boom, boom. Okay, we did the pickup there. This guy is now free to do whatever because this guy's got all this covered. Ramsey and 7. This guy's got everything covered down here. We'll start heading this way for, you know, jobs unknown at this point. He is healed, so we will have this guy come out of the water. We'll have him go over there. We'll just have this guy do tile improvement with tile improvement. City ruins. Okay, I'd forgotten about that. It doesn't visibly look like that's what's going on, so yeah, I will happily erase what she did. 3, 4. Alright, we're cruising now. Such as it is, since this guy is on... Whoops. I almost told him a command. 2, 3, 4. Gets us down there. Japanese cows keeping that island clear of barbarians. Thank you, sir. We don't know what he wanted. He was coming back. So I guess he too could be running up here. He could keep eyes over here, or we could have twins running around here. Any of the above works. So we'll zoom. We'll save him because I see these guys are probably going to be more important. Because they're lesser. Alright, so we'll come all the way to there. Oh, and that's as far as he would have gone anyways. We get him there. Let's see. We're just waiting. It's either here in one turn, or visibility is down there. So let's go there. Now we have it back. We can still do 1 and 1, or come here and get there in 2. So there's that. Might as well do farm, hill. Doesn't matter. We're just... Oh, whoops. I meant to do this before I move that guy. So he should actually be here, which doesn't actually matter because we're hinging through this hill, so that's okay. It's just a matter of best practices. Alright, this guy's in Cardiff. Dublin's been neglected for a while. It's picking up the iron in 12. We do have stuff we could chop down that's not helpful. Douglas might pick that up in 1 turn, so let's come down here. Oh, plus we have a settler coming out. Where would that go? He'd probably come up here first, right? So we should probably have somebody heading over there. In fact, we just freed up a guy here, so that makes sense. He'll come over there. Road's already fully built because we didn't rip them up, so that's good. And most things are already done here, so we might not even need a worker there. Anyways, we are way past the half-hour mark, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please leave any comments, things I might be overlooking, suggestions, requests, questions. Please leave me a like and subscribe if you feel that I've earned it, and I will see you guys in the next part. Take care.